Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Yasodanandana Vrajachandranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajanandana
Yasodanandana Vrajachandranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajanandana
Yamana Tira Vanachani
Yamuna Tira Vanachani
Yamana Tira Vanachani
Yamuna Tira Vanachani
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
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 Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivardhari
Yasodanandana Vrajachandranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajanandana
Yasodanandana Vrajachandranjana
Yashodanandana Vrajanandana
Yamana Tira Vanachani
Yamuna Tira Vanachani
Yamuna Tira Vanachani
Yamuna Tira Vanachani
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
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 Jayo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parimagacharya Astatara Sri Madhya's Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Gaur Pimanandi. We've been reading from, can you turn the volume up a little bit? Turn the volume up a little bit. Thank you. We've been reading from Canto 10, Chapter 8. And this evening we're going to be reading from verses 44 and 45. There's still a lot to go in this chapter. There's extensive commentary on some of these verses. It's an important section. Mother Jasoda has looked inside Krishna's mouth and to see if he's eating dirt. Didn't see any dirt, she saw something else. The description is there of what she saw. And then there was a sequence of what she went through after that. She was wondering what might be the reason. She got really philosophical about maybe it's this and that and the other thing. And then she concluded she doesn't really understand, or it's the power of Narayan that was invested in Krishna, as Gargamuni said, that's what the cause of it is. So since I don't understand, there's one thing I do understand, and that's Narayan is behind everything. So she offers prayers to Narayan, glorifying him and glorifying him and glorifying him, and then requests that her son be protected. Then there's a verse where she's waxing into a renunciation mood, detachment mood. I'm not the mother, I'm not the wife, I'm not the queen, I'm not giving up all these identities. And then by Krishna's influence, she becomes again overwhelmed with maternal affection, because he wanted to be reprimanded or scolded, so he got that. Now she's in this bewildered state, and so he doesn't like that, so he gets her back to, with his Yogamaya potency, forgetting everything that she thought about, forgetting everything that she saw, just becoming overwhelmed with motherly affection. So that's where we are. Text 44 from chapter 8. Immediately forgetting Yogamaya's illusion that Krishna had shown the universal form within his mouth, Mother Yashoda took her son on her lap as before, feeling increased affection in her heart for her transcendental child. Purport. Mother Yashoda regarded the vision of the universal form within Krishna's mouth as an arrangement of Yogamaya like a dream. As one forgets everything after a dream, Mother Yashoda immediately forgot the entire incident. As her natural feeling of affection increased, she decided to herself, now let this incident be forgotten. I do not mind. Here is my son, let me kiss him. That's Prabhupada's purport. And here's Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur commenting, short. Just as one quickly forgets a dream, Yashoda forgot completely about the universal form through the influence of Maya. In the presence of Aishvarya Gyan, affection is restricted. Now, her affection was unrestricted. Rather, it increased even more. She is described as, quote, one whose heart was spread, Kalila, with increased affection. So we're getting over and over again this lesson about the opulence, the Aishvarya manifestations of when Krishna, because Krishna has all opulences, and when he exhibits them, it restricts or constricts the feelings, natural feelings of affection. So Krishna took care of that. He, with his Yogamaya potency, withdrew the Aishvarya and manifested the Madhurya. Jiva Goswami, short. Suddenly she forgot about questioning what had happened. She put the child who was born from her womb, Atmajam, on her lap, just as she had previously. As previously, her heart had the strongest affection. This confirms that she forgot what had previously happened. And Sanatana Goswami's commentary is a little longer. Her investigating the incident disappeared. She saw Kṛṣṇa as he who came from her womb, Atmajam. This was the cause of increased affection, a sign of knowledge disappearing, knowledge of what had just happened. Her love for Kṛṣṇa was at its highest level. As previously, she placed him on her lap. Though she was on the highest level, her affection increased because of relishing at every moment newer and newer tastes. This is the nature of bhakti rasa. This is according to Vaishnava Siddhanta. It is explained in the Bhagavatamrita Uttarakanda. Paragraph. Seeing the universe just by opening his mouth was the will of the Lord. Otherwise, whenever Kṛṣṇa opened his mouth to eat and drink, Yashoda would be seeing the universe. It was a special feature. Paragraph. Among the people, the universal form is seen with knowledge of the Lord. That is its nature. Knowledge of the Lord, which obstructs special bhakti and which arises by seeing the universal form, should disappear by my mercy. Also, bhakti increases by the arousal of intense pain. No explanation of that sentence. The same thing happens when Arjuna saw the universal form. Immediately after that, oh, I was so casual with you as a friend, and that wasn't right. You're the supreme. So Aishvarya diminishes or constricts natural affection. This is in the higher states of consciousness. For us, we need to hear the glories of the Lord. Yashoda was in her position by worshipping great devotees. That's how Sanatana Goswami says, by her amazing convictions, all her doubt disappeared. So it's not like she became Yashoda. It's not, you can't become, it's not a post. She was as she had been previously. This indicates that she had developed very firm affection. Thus, knowledge of Kṛṣṇa as the Lord vanished. Let the memory of the universal form remain. It's not harmful. She did not see this form in his stomach at all times because of the Shakti which covers his lordly aspect. Previously, he derived special happiness from the caresses of his mother, and now he had given her pain by this vision caused by her fear of his eating dirt. This was not shown by the Lord as his most excellent feature. So that's 44. We'll review this after we go on. The first line is Trayi Chopanishadabis Cha. So by studying the three Vedas, Sama, Yajur, and Atharva, and by studying Vedic knowledge. So translation: the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the three Vedas, the Upanishads, the literatures of Sankhya, Yoga, and other Vaishnava literature. Yet, Mother Yashoda considered that the Supreme Person, her ordinary child. And twice our acharyas say this is a very important verse, Paribhasa Sutra. You're familiar with that term? Anyone not familiar with that term? Paribhasa Sutra. What's the Paribhasa Sutra of the entire Srimad Bhagavatam? 1.3.28. Eti Changsa Kala Pungsam. And there's a definition that term, as it was made popular within our disciplic line by Jiva Goswami, who gave a definition in his Krishna Sandarbha, what Paribhasa Sutra means. It goes something like this. It's a text. Traditionally, it appears early in a book. It governs all the other messages within the book. That is, if you're going to properly understand something in a large text of seemingly unrelated ideas and thoughts, it has to be transparent with that one verse because it governs all the other verses. In other words, if you've understood something over there and it doesn't match this one, then you've got a wrong understanding. It's very powerful, very strong foundation verse of the whole text. Thousands of other ideas can be expressed, it governs all of them. So that Kṛṣṇa in his form in Braja is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa is the avatari of all avatars and of all things. He's the absolute truth personified. That's the verse. And all the other text of the Bhagavatam is lined up with that, or in alignment with that. So our acharyas are saying this verse that I just read, so I'll read it again. This statement in the scriptures, this verse is the Paribhasa Sutra of Krishna Lila. Very important verse. So here we go, verse again. The glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are studied through the three Vedas, the Upanishads, the literature of Sankhya Yoga, and other Vaishnava literature. Yet Mother Yashoda considered that Supreme Person her ordinary child. And Srila Prabhupada's purport, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 15:15. What does it say there? Bhagavad Gita 15:15. Yeah. The purpose of the Vedas is to know Krishna. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand Him. Vedaishtasarya Vairahamiva Vedya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained to Sanatana Goswami that there are three purposes in the Vedas. One is to understand our relationship with Krishna, Sambandha. Another is to act according to that relationship, Avideya. And the third is to reach the ultimate goal, Prayojana. The word Prayojana means, quote, necessities. And the ultimate necessity is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prema Pumartho Mahan. The greatest necessity for a human being is the achievement of love for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here we see that Mother Yashoda is on the highest stage of necessity, for she is completely absorbed in love for Krishna. Paragraph. In the beginning, the Vedic purpose is pursued in three ways, Trayi, by Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. So, it's interesting, in the verse, it's the three Vedas, Rig, Sama, Yajur Veda. But here it's these three, Karma Kanda, Jnana Kanda, and Upasana Kanda. When one reaches the complete, perfect stage, Upasana Kanda, one comes to worship Narayana, or Lord Vishnu. When Parvati asked Lord Mahadev, Lord Shiva, what is the best method of Upasana, or worship? Lord Shiva answered. Who knows the verse without looking? Aradhananam Sarvesham. Anyone know the rest? Vishnur Aradhanam Param. Vishnu Upasana, or Vishnu Aradhana, worship of Lord Vishnu, is the highest stage of perfection as realized by Devaki. So now, the previous verse was comparing Devaki's, the commentary, Devaki's love as mother and Yashoda's love as mother. But here, Mother Yashoda performs no upasana, for she has developed transcendental ecstatic love for Kṛṣṇa. In the commentary, we're going to hear her words from chapter 3 of Canto 10, where she's offering prayers to Kṛṣṇa, and his prayers, worship through prayers. Worship through prayers. Kind of a little bit over here, just sidebar. This is Memorial Day weekend, and the Boston Temple is having an all weekend long online festival for Memorial Day weekend. And the theme is Prahlad's prayers. I'm supposed to speak the last of his prayers, which is 7-9-50, and this is right on the same topic. Prahlad says that only those who are Paramahamsas, who have attained that stage by 6 different processes, one of those 6 different processes is offering prayers. So that's Devaki. Now is offering prayers. But we're hearing Yashoda didn't offer any prayers when Kṛṣṇa became her son. She doesn't have that sense of divinity, nor did Kṛṣṇa appear in a 4-armed Vishnu form before Yashoda, as he did before Devaki, and she offered her prayer. So the mood is different. And the mood, especially in Vrindavan, the Kṛṣṇa Lila Padibha Sutra, is the sweetness predominates Aishvarya. Prahlad is a Vishnu Bhakta. And the 9 processes of bhakti, which include offering prayers, bandhanam. I mean, there's nothing wrong with worship through prayers. We do it all the time. We're trained, we're encouraged to do that. But the resident of Vrindavan, interesting, Srila Prabhupada quotes in that purport, 7-9-50, that one cannot achieve Kṛṣṇa simply by prayers or study of the Vedas, like it's saying here. All of those things are we do, and including extended hearing. There's a Katha Upanishad verse that says that, and the same words verbatim in Mandukya Upanishad, saying those things cannot bring one to see the Supreme Lord. You can see the Supreme Lord when he wants to show himself, and otherwise you can't. It doesn't mean you don't do any sadhana, but it's the sadhana doesn't cause the Lord to descend or to be experienced by us. What is it then? And it's bhakti, or prema bhakti. So the language that Prahlad uses is Paramahamsas do these things. But Prabhupada explains the Paramahamsas, they know the essence. We hear that the common explanation Prabhupada would give of a swan can take milk from water. Their beak is designed such a way they can take the nectar from this water. Or a Paramahamsa person can take nectar from a filthy place, or gold from a filthy place. So, Mother Yasoda is such a Paramahamsa. She's not a yogi, she's a devotee. And she's the devotee on the topmost platform. That's what this, we'll hear some more about why this is called the Paribhasa Sutra of Kṛṣṇa Lila. Therefore, her position is better than Devaki. In order to show this, Srila Vyasadeva enunciates this verse, Traya Chupanishadabhi, etc. Paragraph. When a human being enters into the study of the Vedas to obtain vidya, knowledge, he begins to take part in human civilization. Then he advances further to study the Upanishads and gain Brahma Gyan, impersonal realization of the Absolute Truth. Then he advances still further to Sankhya Yoga in order to understand the Supreme Controller, who is indicated in Bhagavad Gita. Parabrahman, Paradhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusham Shashvatam. 10-12 Bhagavad Gita. First, right after the Chaturshloki verses. When one understands that Purusha, the Supreme Controller, to be Paramatma, one is engaged in the method of yoga. And he quotes another one of his favorite verses, 12:13:1, where the definition of samadhi is given. Dhyana avastita tadgatena manasa pashantiyam yoginaha. The goal of yoga is to enter samadhi. That's mind fixed on the Paramatma feature. But Mother Yashoda has surpassed all these stages. She has come to the platform of loving Kṛṣṇa as her beloved child, and therefore she is accepted to be on the highest stage of spiritual realization. The Absolute Truth is realized in three features. Brahmeti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shabhyate. But she is in such ecstasy that she does not care to understand what is Brahman, what is Paramama, or what is Bhagavan. Bhagavan has personally descended to become her beloved child. Therefore, there is no comparison to Mother Yasoda's good fortune, as declared by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ramya kachit upasana vrajavadhu vargena ya kalpita. The Absolute Truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, may be realized in different stages. So that verse, its source is, there's I forget his name, a commentator on the Srimad Bhagavatam that was a near contemporary of Jiva Goswami but wasn't celebrated like Jiva Goswami. He wrote that verse. He was a follower of Lord Chaitanya and making commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. But he's especially appreciating the good fortune of the position of Lord Chaitanya, that Lord Chaitanya, valued the Vraja Vadhu, the cowherd ladies. Vadhu means wife. Vraja Vadhu Vargena, their path that they, nothing more. The Prabhupada goes on, referring to 4:11 Bhagavad Gita, the Absolute Truth, Supreme Personality Godhead may be realized in different stages, as the Lord says in Bhagavad Gita, Yeyatamam prapadyante, tangs tatai papajamyaham, etc. As men surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O son of Pritha. One may be a karmic jnani, a yogi, and then a bhakta, or prema bhakta. But the ultimate stage of realization is prema bhakti, as actually demonstrated by Mother Yashoda. And I think I'm just going to read one of the commentaries, because this is an important verse, and we'll continue tomorrow. This is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, text 45, commentary. This verse shows how Yashoda's maternal love, being unrestricted in spite of seeing Krishna's powers and hearing about the Lord's powers from scripture, was superior to that of Devaki. The Lord is praised by the three Vedas as the Yajna Purusha. In Sankhya, he is glorified as the Purusha, in Yoga as the Paramatma, and in Pancharatra, Satvata, as Bhagavan. Without regard for place or time, Mother Yashoda regarded the powerful Lord, who is glorified directly and indirectly in the scriptures, as her son. Quote, by the power of my family deity, by the mercy of Narayana, who has been satisfied with vrata and worship executed by Nanda and myself, and who has been satisfied with the many austerities of Parjanya. Who is Parjanya?
Right.
Yeah, but it's the name of Nanda's father, Parjanya Maharaj. And Parjanya Maharaj was one of the sons of Santanu. So, Santanu? Yeah. No, I forget his name, father's name. Parjanya had 5 sons, and Upananda was the eldest, but when the turning over the kingdom came, Upananda turned to his younger brother Nanda and said, he's the best. He should become the king, so he became the king. So Nanda's father is Parjanya. So she's thinking, with the many austerities of Parjanya, etc., I have been given this son who the karmis glorify as the absolute truth propounded in the scriptures. That is because of the statement of Gargamuni that he is equal in quality to Narayana, and stories of his killing Putana and other demons. So the karmis think he is Narayana, but actually he's just my child. If he does not see me for a moment, he becomes disturbed. And I also, being separated from him for a moment, become disturbed. Our experiences are proof. In this way, Mother Yashoda concluded about Kṛṣṇa. And 2 short paragraphs. Just as karmis think of the Lord as Yajna Purusha according to the Vedas, so Yashoda thought of the Lord as her son through Vatsalya Prema. Just as he gives results according to the worship of the karmis and others, so to Yashoda's maternal affection he responded. But as he could not respond fully to the amount of affection offered by Yashoda, being a debtor, he was content to remain under her mercy, controlled and crying for her milk. This will become clear in later chapters. And then the statement, one should take this verse as the Paribhas Sutra of Krishna Lila. As a lamp from one place in a dark room lights up the whole room, so that statement in the scriptures, which can reveal the meaning of all scriptures, or regulates the meaning of the scriptures, is called paribhasa. This verse remains as a regulator for all the pastimes related to Aishvarya, during his Kaumara and Kaishora ages in Mathura, Kurukshetra, and elsewhere. End of commentary. Because we've been hearing from this section, and in the morning classes, it's Krishna showing the residents of Vrindavan his Vaikuntha realm or Goloka realm, the realm of opulence, and how do they take it, and similarly Krishna showing that Goloka, but showing his universal form, or the form of the universe within his mouth. Again, it's a manifestation of Aishvarya. So how do the residents of Vrindavan process that? There's the different situations and different personalities, but the model is somewhat similar, very similar. There's astonishment, seeing what they see. There's wondering, who is he anyway, after they're astonished. And then again, Krishna, through his agency of Yogamaya potency, he wishes to experience their loving affection, which they're abundantly ready, so he withdraws the Aishvarya feature, or the Aishvarya feature becomes covered again with the Madhurya feature, or the language used by your acharyas is their natural affection, as in it's their nature. They have a particular relationship with Krishna, and this highest stage of prema, the residents of Vrindavan's prema, Braja prema, is showing these things. We discussed this. What's the purpose of Krishna showing these things if later on they forget it? It was a question we discussed. It serves to, it's part of their relationship with Krishna, and it serves to strengthen even more than before their affection. I don't know how to make a worldly example out of this. I suppose when there's something when this COVID-19 thing is over, and many people are saying life is not going to be the same, but I predict, sense gratifiers are going to find a way to get sense gratification. They'll rebuild their sense gratification. It may look a little different, but it's going to be the same program. But so now there's some restriction. So it looks a little different because of something that no one, not the novel coronavirus, they're calling it. So this novel situation, after the novel is over, then it's going to become quite normal again. So as for the example is given, as for a person when they're dreaming, when they wake up, then there may be a little lingering of what the dream was, but it fades. And it's true. I woke up this morning in the middle of a dream. It wasn't like a terrible dream. It wasn't a happy dream either. It was a strange one. And, it lingered for a little while, but I have to strain to remember, what was going on in that dream. So they may have some faint recollection of what they saw, what Mother Yasoda saw. But it's forget it. He's my son. That's it. I'm not going to ponder anything further. What was that? And who is he? And he's my son. And it's not light. It's the most profound of all emotions in existence. It's the residents of Vrindavan have that mood. and it's unique. In one sense, you can't understand it. In the other sense, our acharyas are explaining it again and again and again. You can understand it not by direct experience, but you can understand it through the medium of the pastimes and the potencies within those pastimes, and the gift of our acharyas to bring it more to the foreground, draw our attention to some of the different details connected with what's going on in the background. We'll just say it again. This Paribhasa Sutra, say it again because it's a very strong statement to say this is it. This is the essence that governs all of the manifestations in Krishna's pastimes, certainly in Vrindavan, where his Aishvarya is manifest. And there's so many. His Aishvarya is manifest. And the mood of the residents of Vrindavan is such that they've gone beyond, they're already beyond what the attainments of those lesser stages are. And so they may go to a place where they're acknowledging or understanding or recognizing or experiencing something that's a little lower than their attainment, and very quickly they're back at their attainment because they can't see beyond that. There isn't anything beyond that for them. It's not of interest. It's not important. He may be whoever he may be. He's my son. I have to feed him. He cries. He throws tantrums. When he can't see me, he gets in total anxiety. He's Dinabandhu. You know Dinabandhu? Vrindavan? He's a great storyteller. And I can't even remember what the exact circumstance is that I've heard him say it like 5-6 times, when everyone's speculating maybe he's God, and Dinabandhu starts laughing, and he does a whole body laugh. Nanda Maharaj says, and he goes on and on. He steals and he lies and he runs away, and you're saying he's God? And then he does these things, and dead dogs say, whoa. And everyone, because he's laughing, his whole body laugh, everyone is laughing with Nanda, and everyone's laughing with Dinabandhu, and it's the mood of Braja. That's what's being said here about Yashoda. And everybody in Braja, they have all trust and all regard in Nanda and Yashoda. I mean, a king has that position, by stature or by law at least. They're holding the regard and respect of cultured people. But it's more than just, Varnashram Dharma. He is regarded, like that whole situation after the Govardhan Leela. When the Leela was going on, they were just absorbed in the Leela. They were with Kṛṣṇa, and they were overwhelmed by being with Kṛṣṇa 24/7. And when the hill went back down into its place, and the next day, the day after, they were, They were contemplating. So the whole chapter is wonderful Kṛṣṇa, astonishment at his majesty. And so what did they do? They went to Nanda. We have all trust in you. You please dispel our doubts. Who is your son? Well, they didn't say your son. They said our son, because they regard Kṛṣṇa like he regards Kṛṣṇa as their son. They hold him in that regard. They hold Yashoda in that regard. I mean, they have friendly dealings. At the same time, they hold her and hold him in that regard. And it predominates everyone. It's just the mood of Vraja emanating from them. That's why this statement of Lord Chaitanya is introduced, the Vraja Vidhu Vardhena. So they are the highest, hold the highest form of worship, the gopis of Vraja Vidhu. There's no higher form of worship. And because they're there, that association is day and night, and so all the residents of Vraja have the same mood, naturally so. That's their qualification. And the Nitya Siddha devotees, they're training the Sadhana Siddha devotees in various ways in that mood. And therefore, the path, it comes out now and then in the commentaries, but emphasizing the Raganuga Bhakti process. And the Raganuga Bhakti process includes holding the Ragatmika Bhaktas, the perfected souls that are eternal associates of Kṛṣṇa, and hear about them, meditate on them, remember them, and down to details, the descriptions of how they dress, and their glance, and their smile, and their gestures, and their words, and the details. That's part of the Raganuga Bhakti stage, meditating upon, remembering, reciting, to associate with them. It helps prepare one to associate on that platform. It's a great science. The science of sadhu sangha, or through association of qualified persons. And we're getting it just by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam and our Acharya's commentaries. We're associating with Kṛṣṇa through their sound vibration. Really special. Really special. We're so fortunate. Okay, so let's see if there's some discussion. We'll continue on this same text tomorrow. Yeah, we have a portable microphone for how many people are online?
37, Maharaj.
Huh?
37.
Okay, so give him the microphone. Little time out for technology over here.
Thank you so much for the wonderful class, Maharaj. My question is pertaining to the Yogamaya illusion.
Yogamaya illusion.
Yes. In the 44th verse that we discussed today, said that immediately forgetting Yogamaya's illusion that Kṛṣṇa had shown the universal form. My question is, what is the Yogamaya's illusion? Is Kṛṣṇa showing the universal form? Is that illusion, or Yashoda Mata accepting Kṛṣṇa as her son and not the Supreme Personality?
They're both Yogamaya, not one versus the other. So what Yogamaya, we've been discussing this. The commentary is like exhaustive on this topic, but Yogamaya Mahamaya and Maya. There are three terms that can be taken as one term, just different aspects of one term. So Yogamaya is a potency of Kṛṣṇa whereby one can see Kṛṣṇa but not understand who he is. So he's not, seeing him as her son, that's Yogamaya, and seeing the universe within Kṛṣṇa, including Mother Yasoda looking inside Krishna's mouth, that's Yogamaya. Simultaneously within and simultaneously out at the same time. That's a potency of Yogamaya. So it's both. But then, comes our teaching that we were accustomed to hearing, that we're under either Mahamaya or Yogamaya. We're not independent. We're under this Maya or that Maya, but it's that which one we're under has everything to do with our regard for Kṛṣṇa. Mahamaya or Yogamaya. We're discussing Yogamaya Samavrita, Nam-Prakasha Sarvasya, Yogamaya. So those are mudhas, they're covered by Yogamaya's expansion, Mahamaya. And Mother Yasoda is covered by Yogamaya directly. So is Yogamaya seeing what she saw, and is Yogamaya thinking Krishna is my son? But so the verse specifically is mentioning the Yogamaya of seeing the universe. But that's also his potency. It's only his potency.
So the absolute truth is that Kṛṣṇa is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. His universal form is also Yogamaya and Yasoda.
Well, the manifestation of the universal form comes as a result of or a product of his Yogamaya. For Mother Yasoda to see it, that was the feature. That was his Yogamaya that allowed her to see it. He gave her the eyes to see and the object to see, and otherwise people don't see. That was stated. She doesn't always, whenever she's looking in his mouth, see that. It was his Yogamaya that permitted her to see it. He showed it and gave her the eyes to see it, like Arjuna. He showed it and gave Arjuna the eyes to see it. So that's his personal potency. You can say, another term that can be used is Swarup Shakti, his personal potency. But it's not the fullness of his personal potency, it's an aspect of it. Does that take care of it? Yeah. More.
One more question.
Sure, more. 10 more if you like.
Thank you, Maharaj. Again, this question is also related to Yogamaya and Mahamaya.
Okay,
and
good.
More related to yesterday's discussion, yesterday's verse.
Oh.
You're explaining the difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya. The question is, for a practicing devotee, we always think that practicing Kṛṣṇa consciousness is declaring war against Maya.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that is Mahamaya.
Yes.
Does Yogamaya have any role in shaping the practicing devotee?
Yeah. That's we're trying to. The declaration of war on Mahamaya is to align ourselves or make an ally with Yogamaya. We can't do it without Yogamaya. Yogamaya is part of the Lord's personal potency as opposed to his external potency, his internal potencies. He has a special function within his internal potencies. And so we align ourselves with her. Otherwise, we can't declare war against Maya, we'll get crushed. You don't pick battles unless you know you can win. And so we know we can win because of the internal potency of Kṛṣṇa, his personal potency. So yes, we're connected through her. We're under the care of the internal potency through the agency of devotional service. That has its, Radharani has her part in all of that too. Or Bhakti Devi, who is her expansion, has her part too. But yeah. And I think just a final is, one of Prabhupada's phrases that's very sensible is proportionate to. Proportionate to our alignment with the trying to please Kṛṣṇa, not just trying to get out of Maya, but trying to please Kṛṣṇa, the Bhakti Devi feature, that connects us with Yogamaya, that aligns us with Yogamaya, that gives us the strength to overcome Mahamaya. Thank you. And that's the essence. As Mother Shraddha is proportionate to. And the proportion isn't so great for sadhakas. Something, but so we don't do so well with the war against Maya usually. It's kind of it's a battleground. You have something?
Yes, Maharaj. One question from yesterday's discussion. We talked about pride.
Pride.
Yeah, and I also remember that gopis, when they feel special, Krishna disappears from the rasa dance pastime.
You're responding to Divya's question?
No, I was just.
I don't remember the pride discussion. Refresh my memory.
Yes, Divya's question.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was later thinking, as a practicing devotee, we might also have pride.
Not might.
Yeah, we have pride.
Yeah.
But are there like subtle expressions of pride that we may not realize as pride?
All kinds of subtle and not so subtle.
So can you give some examples? Because I don't understand it.
Kind of pervasive, not so subtle really, is the doership mentality, karta aham. That's the companion of a living entity who accepts the body as the self, false ego. And when we're doing devotional service, we think I'm doing it. And then there's if there to the degree that there's some success, we think I did it. We're not thinking I'm the instrument and I'm requiring Krishna's mercy to do even the simplest thing. So it's not so subtle, it's pervasive. Accompanying our dear friend false ego that rules our activities. Daily, moment-to-moment activities. It's just part of how we think. It's part of our material consciousness. Whatever you might want to think of. Go to the kitchen and cook. We're not thinking in terms of Krishna's pleasure. We're thinking, and if it comes, whatever comes, is by the mercy of Kṛṣṇa. Okay? Here's an example. It's pervasive. Pride is very stubborn.
Just to follow up, because I think there is a fine line between feeling proud and then feeling fortunate. For example, if you're in this process connected to Prabhupada's mission.
That's fine. That's fine. That's not exactly a fine line. I mean, that's night and day. However, it's easy to, I'm very fortunate and become proud of how fortunate I am. But there's a place for that, like gratitude. And I'm deserving. I receive mercy because I'm worthy of mercy.
That's fine.
Pride is very stubborn.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. So as you mentioned,
I'm glad you come because I can count on a question or two or three.
So sadhana bhakti, like you mentioned, it's a whole different level of getting into the other realm of prema bhakti, but we are sadhakas.
Yes.
So is the purpose is so we can purify ourselves,
Yes.
and then get to a stage where Krishna
Yes.
might accept.
Well, purification is mode of goodness. And that's a good place to begin, mode of goodness. But so that's the process, is purification. But then it's purification leads to spontaneous, leads to prema. So, does that address your question?
Yeah, so also during sadhana bhakti also there's so much more like nectar in the services, and also there's so much loving relationships and all of that too. So it's not completely like dry like with
No.
sadhana bhakti.
No. I mean, dry has to do with, like the question he raised the other day, about doing arti, and it's just quite mechanical by things that we do because it's to be done. That's mode of goodness, to do things because they're to be done. It can easily become mechanical. Mechanical has to do with, the consciousness not really connecting with the purpose behind the activity. According to Nectar of Instruction, that's bhakti vinashati, doing without the connecting with the purpose behind it. What's the purpose behind it? To please Krishna. To do what we do for the pleasure of Krishna. The potency is there to connect with Krishna, but we're not connecting with Krishna. We're the mode of goodness to a degree because it's for the purpose, it's to be done, so we're doing it. But the connecting with Krishna part, the bhakti part, is not so strong or operating. It's kind of dull. So, sadhana is activated to a level of purification, like this same phrase, proportionate to the contemplation that this is being done. No, it's okay. No, they're fine. They're lovely kids. I'm just, huh?
I'll just watch.
Okay. They're happy children. Go ahead.
Question number 1. How do we know that we have a connection to Krishna?
How do we know? On the authority of Scripture. How do you know anything? Shabda pramana. That's how we know. And then by direct experience, we can experience it. It can be verified.
Next question. In Bhagavatam 1:1:1 purport, Krishna is mentioned as divine son of Devaki.
He's mentioned as
Divine son of Devaki.
divine son of Devaki, okay.
Today in Srila Jiva Goswami's commentary, we heard that he was born from womb of Mother Yashoda. Can you kindly elaborate on this?
Yeah, it's a little esoteric, but I can elaborate on it. Our acharyas describe, there's authoritative statements that are the basis for them describing like this. When Mother Yashoda gave birth, she gave birth to twins, not just a female child. And the explanation is given. I can't imagine how this could happen, but due to the excesses of labor, she didn't even realize that she had given birth to two children. I mean, I don't know how a mother would not know that she'd given birth to two children. But anyway, so there's Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa was born from the womb of Yashoda. Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa was born from the womb of Devaki. Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa, when he was carried by Vasudeva to the side of Yashoda, that Vasudeva Kṛṣṇa merged into the body of Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa. So there was one Kṛṣṇa instead of two. And he took the female child and gave the female child to Devaki. That's it?
Next question,
You're
Maharaj.
processing. Okay.
Also in the same purport, Vasudeva is mentioned as plenary portion of Kṛṣṇa. My understanding was Kṛṣṇa and Vasudeva are same personalities. Can you kindly explain more about Vasudeva being plenary portion of Kṛṣṇa?
Yeah, sure. There's Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa, and Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa has expansions. And the Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradumna, and Aniruddha are those expansions. There's more to say than that, but that's the explanation that is being asked for. Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa is the original, he's the avatari from which all expansions come. And the Chatur, the aides de camp, Prabhupada calls them. Those Vasudeva, Sankarshan, Pradumna, Aniruddha, Chaturvyuha, they're plenary portions of Swayam Bhagavan Kṛṣṇa.
Next question. Could you please speak more about Jiva Goswami's commentary of pure devotee entering Lord Krishna's eternal pastimes, both entering the lake and seeing the pastimes happen, and entering the river and being part of the pastimes? Is it possible for us to get to a place in terms of purification in this life to be able to enter the Lord's pastimes while still on earth?
Not while still on earth, because you can enter Krishna's pastimes spiritually. Now your body might still be on earth, but your consciousness has to be with Krishna to enter into Krishna's pastimes. And I couldn't really understand the first part of what that was being asked, but the answer to the second part is yes. But it's by consciousness, it's not by body.
Yes, sir, Maharaj.
Okay, looks like we're done. Anything more?
No.
So good.
Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki?
Jai.
Jai. You were hearing the yesterday evening class?
Yes, sir.
Really? Remotely?
Yes.
Nice. Little feedback. Is it easy to follow or hard to follow, or
Online.
the subject matter, listening remotely? The reason I'm asking that is I find just sitting in the room together, the experience is different than online. Just hearing and not the same.
Yes, Maharaj. One to one in person is different.